smá Manchester í lífið. Icelandair.
Nýbökuð brauð á morgnana, léttir réttir í hádeginu, kökur með kaffinu og fjölbreytt veisluþjónusta. Bakarameistarinn.
Yeah. We already said welcome, I suppose, but we have ladies today also, so that's very nice. So you're very welcome, both ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's interesting with football, as you saw the clips from Brazil, Swiss, and our clips when we played Swiss. That as I always say, it's very small marginals in football, and we are not compared with the Brazilians, at least when it comes to scoring own goals. We haven't done that yet since Eimer and I started anyway. But I mean, that's what it's all about. I think we did maybe, looking from performance point of view, the best game we've done since we started against Swiss at home, but still we lost 2-0, and it's the results that counts. But we will really underline that to the players when we meet them, that I think we at least should have a draw. Maybe we should have won if you look upon the performance and the goal scoring chances. But they were more effective than we and defended better than we, so then you lost. So that's how it is. But if we look upon the last games just shortly, I don't know, when I heard from what you thought and maybe some other thought that maybe it wasn't that good game, but I mean we had the ball almost all the time, and I think the players did a rather good game. But when you meet a really well-organized team, it's very difficult to score many goals as it always is in football, and that's why I think it's so interesting with football. You can compare with any other team sport with the ball that almost never a third division team can beat the first division team, but in football you can do it. But in general, as you can see here, I think they did a good game. We didn't let them have any real clear goal scoring chances. It was a lot of it's good to keep the concentration when they dominate the game like we did. But the bad thing was that we had so many goal scoring chances and didn't score. So hopefully we can change that when we come to the Swiss and the Albanian game. So the squad this time is like this, that we have 3 goalkeepers. I just put them forward, I think, and comment a few things only on it. You can read it yourself. One who wasn't in question for this game was Hjalmar, if you wonder, because we had a talk during the Faroe Island game, and we talked earlier this week, and he's expecting a child, so that's why he wanted to give priority to that. So that's why he wasn't in question to be picked or not. Another player that probably should have been picked is Rurik, but he is unfortunately out with an injury. He has broken a bone in his hand, so we hoped until today maybe that we could have him in the squad, but he had a second X-ray today, and the doctor in Copenhagen and also our doctors, Gaiti and Sveinbjörn, has agreed that it's too risky to him to train and play. So unfortunately Rurik is out of the squad. Otherwise we have everybody available, so in that respect it looks rather good. So also nice to see that we can still go on picking Christine and Johan, who is, I hope and think that in the next future they can be really good. So we need good defenders, really. That's where we maybe have not have that biggest competition about the places. So we hope that they can take some steps forward. And as I said yesterday when I took part on TV also, it's very interesting to see the under-21 team. We had the possibility, Heimer and I, to see the first half last game they played, and they are really looking interesting, these players, and also, as I said, very good that they have good defenders in the under-21. So I think the future for Icelandic football is bright when it comes to that. The situation, you know about it, I don't have to comment so much about that. The situation is that it is. So what I said last time, I think, when we have a press conference too, is that if we beat Albania and have 3 wins, we almost theoretically also sure to have at least second spot. And if we win versus Swiss now, we have even a good chance to end up first in the group. How realistic the chances is that we can always discuss that. But I think if we can keep out from a lot of players, at least the key players, being injured or being suspended, that give us a good chance, I think, to end up at least as second in the group. As I said to you before, the only negative part of I think of the team is that we have had far too many yellow cards and one red card, and that's not good. I think in 6 matches we have 18 yellow cards. And if you go back to the Swiss game, I mean, we missed 2 of our best players. Aron was suspended only after 2 games, and Kolbein was injured. So in that respect, it looks better for this game anyway. So what we will do when we meet the players now, it's just try to get them focused on this. And I mean, we all know it's 2 decisive games. The good thing is that even if we will lose against Switzerland, we will still have a chance to end up second. So we have a second match ball, so to speak, when it comes to Albania at home. So this was it's all about, and what we will talk with the players about. I mean, as I said to you, we will concentrate on the last game when we go through the Swiss game and the way Swiss are playing, so they can see how good we were playing against them. And even if it's I mean, you can see on the ranking, you can see the results they've done, that it's a really good team we're playing against. And I think you counted, Jaime, that they have 11 players participating in the Champions League, so that's a little bit different from us, who have 3 players in the Champions League to give. But I think that we have a fair chance, and we will really go for this, that we shall only think about winning. So I'm rather hopeful anyway, that even if we know it's a tough away game, and then we have to reload and take Albania at home, and they are a good team too. So it's 2 tough matches, but I'm looking forward to it. So now we can finish with questions, if you have any.
He's moved injured.
Yeah.
How was the situation with him?
Yeah, he is a question mark. I don't know what he did actually. I spoke to him several times now after he was examined by doctors and everything. He had something back home, so he injured one of his toes. So I talked to him today, and he will probably not play this weekend, but he will come to Swiss on Monday, and then we take it step by step to see how it's working. But our doctors were rather positive. They have seen the X-ray from it, and so we have rather good hopes that he will be able to play on Friday.
And he has 9 other toes that he can use it.
And he's from Iceland, so he's a Viking too. Yeah.
You mentioned the under-21 team. Is there any player in particular that is knocking on the door?
Yeah, in a way you can say that. I mean, it's always a big step to take, and from my experience with national teams, from under 21 to the national team. But I mean, they're looking really good, and it's also, I think, if you're not pretty sure that one of them will take a starting place in the national team, I think it's better for them, especially now when the under 20 is doing so well, and as long as they have a good chance to qualify for the finals. I think it's better both for Icelandic football and for the players if they have a chance to go to finals. I think that's one of the best things that can happen to a young player, to experience a finals on top international level. So it's always a balance about that. But I think if you look upon the whole 4-back line as I have seen it, I think some of them are really interesting, and maybe not coming in these qualification games during this year, but next year I think they'll be really interesting for the national team too.
Ahmad Hitzfeld was talking about in the press conference yesterday. You thought that the home fixture against Iceland would be easier than the away fixture, given the possession of the Swiss team probably in this game, that would give you a chance to counter attack. Your opinion on that?
Yeah, if you look upon this game here, I mean, it's I don't know if the word fun is the right thing. It's interesting with the psychological part, why the home team always have an advantage, and normally they maybe play a little bit better home. In our case, it's the contrary. I mean, we've done the best matches, except from the Swiss that we lost here away, so that's good for us to have in our back when we go there. But I think they will have the ball a little bit more than us, but I don't think they will have it so much more than us. That's at least our goal, that we should try to play our own game, and maybe we can surprise them a little bit with some tactical things. So I hope that we can play a pretty equal game with them.
What's Viktor Paulsson from Nijmegen?
Yeah.
What's him in the games?
Yeah, we have him on the list. So he was, as you maybe know, we have to notify the clubs, all the players that are in the picture for being picked for the squad, and he's one of them. So he's close to the squad, but we think that the central midfielders that we have in the squad is still a little bit better than him. But we follow him.
Is it possible for him to start the match against Switzerland?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, Haven and I have talked, of course, a lot about how to balance the team and everything like that, but he's definitely in the picture, and now as you have a little bit of a question mark for Alfred, you have to think a little bit different than if he is not playing or not should start the game, how you balance the team, and if we can use Eider in a role in that case. But you can play him also as we did the second half. As we said, it was a little bit of a test, even if it was against another type of team, to balance the team a little bit different when we put Eider in behind the two strikers. So it's good to have that test, and he has the feeling for it. I mean, he still have what I would call magic feet, but then you also have to think about the balance. Who will play up in the striker role, and who will play in the midfield, and we need, as you saw on Hamish picture here, also to defend very, very well. But he's definitely in the picture.
Sölvi has moved to Russia, but he's still not playing. He can play 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think he's fit anyway to play 90 minutes. Of course, it's not ideal now that he haven't started playing. But we gambled a little bit with him earlier also, so he may show us that with all the players, I think they can handle this being on the bench much more. But of course, it's not an ideal situation. He's probably not. I don't think it's any problem with the physical part of it, but it's more the timing, I would say, to be out of matches. So, but I still think he's good to have in the squad with his experience and the skills that he has.
The goalkeeper situation, have you decided yet who will start?
No, of course we haven't. I mean, you never know what happened this weekend, first of all, and then even if we have our thoughts, we would like to see them in training now these days before we finally pick the starting 11. But it's nice to see that Gunnleifur is doing well in the club, and so we have 3 good goalkeepers with us, and so it's good. It's a competition there also. I think that is good for the squad.